Hello everybody. Welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I'm Kim. This will be a short, slow flow Vinyasa practice. We use a couple blocks and a strap, so gather your things and find your way to your mat. We'll start in a seated position. I am going to start in Vajrasana, sitting up on my heels with my knees bent. You can do that if you like. If you have any knee issues, you could sit up on a block here or even a couple of blocks, or just find another comfortable seated position. So take a moment to find your way in. Take a little wiggle. Make any adjustments that you need to make when you feel ready. And if it feels okay for you, you can close your eyes or find a soft and steady gaze. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to rest on your belly. And begin to draw your attention inward. Take these next few moments to pay attention to yourself, to be present with yourself, and to enjoy your practice. Check in to notice how you're feeling today. Notice any thoughts running through your mind, any feelings, emotions that you're dealing with, any sensations in your body. Letting go of judgment, just checking in, becoming aware of where you're at right in this moment. I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with yourself as you move through this practice. And if you choose to carry the intention off of the mat and out into the world with you. Check in with your breath. Nice, deep, smooth, steady breaths in through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth. And if you like, beginning to engage Ujjayi breath, the ocean breath, finding that gentle constriction at the back of the throat, making that soft ocean sound at the back of the throat as you draw the breath across the back of the throat with the inhalation and with the exhalation. And then release your hands. Flicker your eyes open. Bring palms together at your heart. Press finger pads together. Outer ring of the palms together. Elbows wide. Then interlace the fingers. Roll your wrists around in some circles. And then switch the direction of your circles. And then extend the hands out, heels of the palms facing forward, pull the fingers back towards you, and then drop the fingers down, pull the fingers in towards the body. And again, we'll flip the hands back up, fingers pointing up, palms facing outward, turning the fingers down, palms now facing back towards the body. Let's do that one more time, lifting fingers, and then turning the fingers to face down. And then give your fingers a little swing from side to side, finding a little half moon shape as you move the fingers side to side. Then just shake out the hands. And grab a hold of your strap. Take your strap And we'll grab it with the hands, about shoulder width distance. Reach the arms up alongside the ears, and then bend the elbows, pull the strap down behind the back of the head, keeping the head in place so you're not dropping the head forward to make this happen. And then we'll reach the hands back up, hands come back down towards the legs. And then a few more times, lifting the arms up overhead, then bending elbows, drawing the strap back behind the head. A couple more. Then you stick with this for a few more rounds. If it's okay for you, you can bring the hands a little bit wider on the strap and maybe bring the arms back behind you with the arms straight instead of bending the elbows, only if that feels okay for you. Otherwise, you keep the elbows bent. We'll take it back and forth like this a few times. And then bring the hands back up overhead. Gently pull with the hands as if you're pulling the strap apart. And then bring the arms back down. You can remove your strap, push that off to the side. Give yourself a few little shoulder shrugs. And then we'll reach the arms up, cactus the arms, fingers pointing up. Fingers aligned up over the elbows. Belly drawing in and up. And then reach fingertips together overhead. Then pull the elbows down towards the sides of the body. Arms come out to the sides like a W, forming a W with the arms. And then arms come back up overhead, fingers coming towards each other, maybe touching. Then pull the elbows back down towards the sides of the body. A couple more times as you lift and lower the arms. Then release that. Now we'll take the right arm in front of the body, cross the chest, hook it with the left elbow, and pull that right arm in towards the body. And then release, we'll switch to the other side. Left arm, it comes in front of the chest, hook it with that right elbow, pull the arm in. And then release that. Come forward into a table. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Root down through the finger pads. Wrist under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Let's begin to circle the wrists around in some circles. Taking the weight forward into the fingertips and then around as you pull yourself back. And then switch the direction of your circles. Taking the weight into the fingertips. As you circle it forward, shoulders will come forward of the wrists. And then bring yourself back to your table. Keeping tops of the feet pressing down into the mat. We'll root down into the hands, shoulders over the wrists. Begin to claw the mat with the finger pads as you lift your knees up off of the mat. Lower your knees back down. Come back to sit on your heels. Child's pose, turn your palms to face up. And then palms come back down. You take it back into your table. And then again, weight into the fingers as you lift your knees up. Tops of the feet pressing down into the mat. Drop knees down one more time. Bring the bum back to the heels. Turn the palms to face up. And then we'll take it back into our table. Reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. And then thread that right arm underneath your body. Come down onto the outer right arm. Tent the left finger pads. Keep it here or reach that left arm up. Maybe take that left hand around, tuck it into that right thigh, taking a little bind. And then reach left arm back up. Plant the hand back down on the mat, bring yourself back into your table. Let's reach that left arm up. Thread it underneath the body. Bring down onto outer left arm. Tent those right fingers. Press the finger pads into the mat. Keep it here. Or reach that right arm up. Or take that right hand around. Tuck it inside that left thigh. And then right arm comes back up. Right hand comes back down to the mat. Tuck toes under. Press into the hands, glide the hips up and back, downward dog. Bigger little bend in the knees here. Begin to find some movement that feels right for your body. You can bend and straighten the knees, pedal out the legs, rock it forward, side to side. And then find your downward dog again. And bend the knees, crouch down into tiger dog. Hug in through the inner edges of the feet, inner legs, lift up through the belly, roll yourself forward into a plank. Shoulders come over the wrists. Then we'll circle it around here, a few circles. Bring the shoulders forward of the wrists, weight into the finger pads, and you circle it around. And then switch direction of your circles. And then send your hips up and back into your downward dog. Let's crouch down, send that right leg up, three-legged dog. Bend that right knee, bring it into your chest as you shift forward and step that right foot through to the right thumb. We'll stay up on ball of that left foot. Bend both knees, press down into your feet, zip up through the belly. Begin to peel yourself up, arms reach up. You can begin to straighten that back leg. Interlace fingers at your low back, elbows bent, knuckles pressing into sacrum. You can keep the arms like this, or maybe bring the arms a little bit straighter, pull the arms off the back. Then release the hands. Bring the arms up into your cactus arms or goalpost arms, fingers reaching up. And then take the hands down to the mat, step yourself back into downward dog. We'll crouch it down again. Tiger dog, send that left leg up for a three-legged dog. Bend that left knee, shift yourself forward into core plank. Step that left foot through to the left thumb. Staying up on ball of that right foot, we'll bend both knees, press down into your feet, peel yourself up, arms reach up, straighten that back leg. Interlace fingers at the low back, starting with the elbows bent. Maybe you bring the arms a little bit straighter. Pull the hands up off the back. Release the clasp of the hands and bring the arms up into your cactus arms. Belly draws in and up, low back in and up. Crown of the head reaching up. Hands come back down to the mat. Step yourself back into downward dog. Find your way up to top of the mat. Bring it into forward fold. Bigger little bend in the knees. Shake out your head. Grab elbows or bring hands down to the mat. Give your hips a little shake side to side. And then hands to hips, press into feet. Lift yourself all the way up to your Tadasana. Palms come together at the heart. So reach the arms up. And then hinge from the hips. Fold it in, forward fold. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, come up to that flat back, and then plant your hands down to the mat, step yourself back to plank. Lower your knees down to the mat, lower it down, pubic bone, belly, torso, elbows hug in as you lift your heart up, baby cobra. Lower yourself back down, tuck the toes, send yourself up and back into your downward dog. Let's crouch it down, tiger dog, send left leg up, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, shift it forward, core plank, step left foot through. We'll stay up on ball of that right foot again. Bend both knees, press down into the feet, zip up through the legs, Lift up through the belly, arms reach up, straighten back leg, interlace fingers at the low back, elbows bent. Maybe you bring the arms a little straighter, pull the arms up off the back. Release the hands, bring the arms up, cactus arms. Hands come down to the mat, step yourself back to plank. Drop knees down, lower all the way down to the belly. Let's lift up the heart, baby cobra, or you bring it up higher for your full cobra. Release yourself down, tuck toes. Press into the hands and send the hips up and back, down dog. Bend the knees, crouch it down. Let's send that right leg up, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, shift it forward, core plank. Step that right foot through. Stay up on ball of the left foot. Bend both knees, press into the earth, lift up. Straighten that back leg, reach the arms up. Interlace fingers at low back, elbows bent or arms straight. Release the hands, cactus the arms, lift the heart. Hands back down to the mat, step yourself back to plank. Now either lower down to the knees, down to the belly, come up through your cobra, or if you like, let's take it into chaturanga, low push-up. Roll it forward on the toes, bend the elbows, lower yourself about halfway down. Elbows stack up over the wrists. Come on to tops of the feet, keep the thighs lifted, pull the heart forward for your upward dog. We'll meet back in downward dog. And step or hop it up top of your mat, fold yourself back in. Halfway lift. Fold it in. Press into the feet, come all the way up, palms together overhead. Hands back down to the heart. Reach your arms up. Fold yourself in. Halfway up to that flat back. Plant your hands down to the mat. We'll step it back to plank. Find your flow here. So you bring it down to the belly, find your cobra, or move it into your chaturanga, upward dog. Meeting back in our downward dog. Crouch it down, right leg up, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, shift it forward, core plank, step that right foot through. Again, stay up on ball of that left foot, bend that back knee, peel yourself up, arms reach up, back leg moves a little bit straighter. Interlace fingers at the low back. Elbows bent or arms come a little bit straighter, still keeping some softness through the elbows. And then release hands, cactus the arms, lift the heart. Hands down to the mat, step yourself back to plank. Move through your vinyasa. Meeting back in our downward dog, crouch down, left leg up. Three-legged dog, bend that left knee, shift it forward, step that left foot through. Come up onto ball of right foot, bend right knee, hug in through the midline, lift up, reach arms up, straighten the back leg. Interlace fingers at low back. Release the hands, cactus the arms. Hands come down to the mat. Step yourself back to plank. Move through your flow. We'll meet back in downward dog. Few deep breaths here. We'll take it into some donkey kicks possibly. Or we'll just move the weight into the hands, a little transfer of weight here. So from your downward dog, maybe shorten up your stance a little bit. We'll crouch down again into our tiger dog. So deep breath in as you crouch it down, and then as you exhale, begin to shift yourself forward. Bring the shoulders forward over the wrists. So inhale takes you back into that crouch. Exhale, you bring it forward, hands over the wrists. Inhale, crouch it down. Exhale, shift it forward. So So stick with that a few more times. If you would like to add in some little donkey kicks here, crouch yourself down, shift it forward, and as you come forward, you lift the hips, lift the feet up towards your bum. Deep breath as you crouch it down. Exhale, take it forward. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, bring it forward. Couple more. So your play here, your practice. Step it back into your downward dog. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. Come into forward fold, back of the mat. Lift up your right foot, slide your right hand underneath all the way up to the wrist. Lift up that left foot, slide the left hand underneath. Wiggle your toes around. Give your wrist, hand, fingers a little massage with your feet. Give your head a little shake. Let go of any tension, holding, gripping in the neck. And then pluck the hands out from our forward fold. Take hands down to the mat. So you may need to bend the knees a lot to make that happen. That's okay. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And begin to take the shoulders a little bit forward of the wrists. Roll up onto the balls of the feet. Take the weight back into the heels. The weight will lighten up through the hands. Maybe you come up onto finger pads. And then again, plant the palms down. Root into the finger pads. That little transfer of weight. If you shift yourself forward, bring the shoulders forward of the wrist. Feel the weight move into the finger pads. And then heels come back to the mat. Maybe you come back up onto finger pads. Palms lifted. You can do that once or twice more, just playing around with the balance, the transfer of the weight between the hands and the feet. Or if you like, you can add on a little crow pose here. Fingers wide. You begin to shift it forward, bring your shoulders, elbows up over the wrists, and then bend the knees. Tuck your knees either into your armpits or up on the back of the triceps. And then you slowly begin to take the weight forward. Maybe you lift one toe, maybe two. Maybe you fall out like I just did. It's okay, part of the practice. And then when you feel complete, can come down into a squat pose. Interlace the fingers again. And then we'll roll the wrists around in some circles. And then roll the wrists around in the other direction. Give your hands a little shake. And then drop the knees down. Come back to where we started in our Vajrasana. One hand to heart, one hand to belly. And close your eyes or find that soft and steady gaze. Check in with your breath. Come back to our intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, compassionate with ourselves. Take a few nice, deep, smooth, and steady breaths in and out through the nose, or in through the nose and out through the mouth. release your hands. I'll take palms together at the heart. Thank you so much for sharing this short, slow flow practice with me today. With love and gratitude, namaste.